directing people who are speaking different languages. This is actually something I've done before, and that I think is actually a good thing for a director to have to do every once in a while. In our movie, Men with Guns, I speak Spanish well enough to direct a movie in it, but I don't speak any of the Mexican indigenous languages, and we had a lot of people speaking those languages. Very often, I even have to say to the actors, you're going to have to translate this dialogue. Please do a good job, because I'm not going to be able to check on you if you're, in this case with the, not so much the Cantonese, but the Tagalog, I had a really, really good Filipino linguist, screenwriter, scholar do the translation into period Tagalog. So I felt confident about that. But even when I did the auditions for the Tagalog-speaking characters, I had them do their audition in Tagalog. Now, I knew what the scene was about, but when you don't, there's actually an advantage to not knowing what every word means, because then you have to concentrate on focus and energy and emotion. And that's what I do during these takes with these guys. I edited this movie. I didn't put the subtitles on until I had cut the whole movie. So I was, and then my associate editor, Mario Antal, Tagalog, he's a Malongo speaker, he's Filipino, but Tagalog was his second language and he had it in school. And so he could listen very carefully and say, oh, I think you've overlapped a syllable or a whole word here. We're going to have to slide things a few frames, so that it actually sounds good to the Tagalog hearing ear. But basically, I think that I know Tim Squires, who worked as my assistant editor once, cut Ang Lee's Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, or was it Hidden Dragon, Crouching Tiger? And he doesn't speak any Chinese of any sort, but Ang just gave him the stuff and he said, you know the story. And I'll tell you when we've got to do some moving around for language. So it's actually kind of an interesting exercise, because you have to concentrate on things that are just human rather than the tonal thing of any one line. One interesting that happened to me with the two Cantonese-speaking actors is at first, I just met these guys like the day before we shot. I said, guys, are these guys overacting? And I was about to go up and talk to them about it, and then I saw them just talking to each other, and they were even bigger than they were on screen. And I realized, oh, that's right, Cantonese is a tonal language. And so it is almost sung as much as it is spoken. So they were actually underplaying a little bit, vocally, but it's such a, compared to Japanese or Tagalog, it's so much more tonal and almost operatic in some ways.